Oh, hey there, I didn't see you standing there. I guess that doesn't really work if I can't see you. Or if you can't see me. Anyways, regardless. Hi, welcome to this video. This is my first video tutorial on how to create characters from photos. Or photo bashing, or matte painting, or whatever you want to call it. I have a couple things to go through before I actually start the video. First of all, my name is Richard. I have about 4 years of experience in digital painting. Not really working, but I'm a freelance illustrator, so take that as you will. What this video is about, this video is going to show you a non-3D technique, I suppose you could say, on creating characters for concepts or illustration or anything like that. But I will say that I don't have much or any experience in 3D, so this will be an all 2D tutorial. As for what you would need, pretty much just a tablet, Photoshop, and a computer that can use Google. Because we will be going on the internet to look for images for reference and actually using in the picture. And I've seen some tutorials on Gumroad that are about 7 or 8 hours long, and I find it almost impossible to go back and find some technique that I want to reuse or replicate in my own paintings. So I'm going to try to fit this entire tutorial in 3 parts, one in an hour long, an hour and a half, and another in an hour. I think that's how it's going to go down, and maybe like a minute or two at the end to recap or wrap everything up. And also, I will apologize for the lack of sound quality. I'm using probably the crappiest Buffalo webcam you can find as a microphone, seeing as they don't have a proper setup. But hopefully it comes out clearly enough, and I can move my lips enough so you understand what I'm saying. Hopefully. Yeah, it should be good. So, without further ado, let's get into this. First off, opening your document. What size? It doesn't really matter, but general A4 size I think is good, where obviously the height is taller or longer than the width. It makes for good, portraits and characters, obviously, because they're standing up, not sitting down. So I think I went with 2,400 by 3,200 pixels. It's not very big, but it's just enough detail, and or you can get just enough detail with a decent size. Okay, so first off, I'm going to drag a gradient from the bottom, just so you don't work on a blank canvas, because that's really scary, and you really shouldn't do that. I mean, it's just so much easier to start with something on the canvas rather than nothing. So I'm just blending out what will probably be the ground, and just jump right into it. Really, I'm using a brush called Chalky from, God, I can't pronounce his name. I'm so sorry. Jama Eurobev or something. Which this brush set can be found on fusroda.com, the Level Up official site, in the resources section. Yeah, I use this brush all the time for everything, really. It's really nice. Nice not tapering, but like, it's textured, but it's solid at the same time. So, as starters, very loosely, just dragging in what looks like a human silhouette. Always start with silhouettes. It's like a base to start off with, So once you start bringing in the photos later, then you can clipping mask them to this silhouette, and you can just kind of sculpt out the shape afterwards. So again, keep it very loose. Had a bit of trouble with the feet here, trying to get that perspective. Always hated doing that with the feet. Even now I can't really get it right, but it worked out in the end. Now, I'm keeping in mind that this is probably going to be a male, Of course, once this video is over, you'll see that I finished the image, and since I'm recording this afterwards, I also know that I made a male and female sort of scout or sniper team, which is probably something I should have gone over in the beginning, but that's the general theme of this image. And a sort of apocalyptic, you know, cliche, sniper team, man and woman. Yeah. Having a little difficulty with the anatomy and the perspective, but trying to keep it very loose at the beginning, because that's all you really need. Alright, then duplicating, obviously, because we need two bodies. Yeah, there you go. And now, with this in mind, that this is going to be the female silhouette, I can start going in with the eraser, which is also the same chalky, just as an eraser, and maybe thinning out the silhouette a bit to make it a bit more feminine. Although you can't really tell at this stage because it's, you know, it's just all black, but thinning up the legs definitely helps. Now, this silhouette will by no means be exactly as it is once it's finished. It's just a base to which I can attach all the photos to. Alright, that's looking about good. Alright, now this is my reference folder in which I keep all my images. Like, there's so many, like you have no idea. Although it is mainly landscape, I should get more clothing and stuff. But you can see I have different folders: war machinery, anatomy, armor. So I'm going to go into clothing here. And just random images I've pulled off the internet. Just took a little while, but that's okay. I have another poses folder, lots of anatomy stuff. It's not really lots, but... So what I'm going to do now is just browse through, see anything that looks like it could be used. Oh, actually, I'm looking for a face right now, aren't I? Yeah, I think so. I don't really remember because I'm recording this afterwards, but yeah, I'm looking for a face. So you could, oh, that's a nice face. You could go in, obviously, and paint your face manually. But the idea here is when you bring in the photo textures, you're just putting in the color information. So you don't have to go through, you know, millions of textured brushes and the color wheel to find what you need. So I'm going to go with this face. Yeah, a bit more of an Asian face. So what I'm going to do here is just drag and drop and make a clipping mask on top of the silhouette here. And I'm just going to scale it down a bit. It's pretty hard getting in here at the beginning, trying to get the proper scale, but I think that looks about good. Or good enough, anyways. Okay, now this is important here. What I'm doing is I'm alt-clicking the mask button down in the bottom right corner. And when you alt-click, it turns the entire thing black, and you can paint in with a white brush what you want to be visible. It is a bit different than just clicking the mask and then erasing, so you can kind of bring in what you want people to see. And back to the folder, looking for anything that might be useful. I was looking for a jacket here now. It's a pretty straightforward process. You start from the top and work your way down. But yeah, I really like this. The perspective is already pretty set for this black. Is that leather? It looks like plastic. But yeah, that coat. So same thing, I'm going to alt mask and then just bring in what I want to see, just the little bits that I want to be there, nothing more. And yeah, maybe a bit around her chin to give her a bit of a collar. Back to the folder. Ooh, okay, so I like this scarf that she's got on here. So I'm just going to drag that in real quick. And yeah, lasso tool that thing out. Because that's all I want. I don't need the jacket or anything else. So a very simple cut around there. Right click, layer via copy. Just chops it right out there. And I'll just scale it up, try to make it fit. Find out where it works, where it doesn't. Although I did like that shiny stuff on her chest area, so the scarf covers it up a bit too much. I'm going to turn the brightness down. And just chop off that scarf. Shift and just scale that bit up so it's out of the way of that shiny stuff there, which I liked. Now, an important thing to remember here, I don't know if I should mention this now or later, but when you bring in the photos, you don't want any of them to be very bright. Because the key to getting that painted look later is to tone everything down. Tone everything down to a sort of dark, desaturated color. And then what you do later is take a brush, properly, and no photos, and paint in the light. And that gives it a real nice painted effect. So I found a sleeve here. Just got that chopped out. Scaling, adjusting, warping, yada yada yada. Till it fits. Again, you can see it's going out of the silhouette. So there's nothing set in stone about that silhouette at all. I'm going to change it like crazy. It's not going to be the same. And also layer placement is important here, because as you can see on the right, some of the... Okay, I'll explain as soon as the screen comes back. There we go. Some of the images are clipped to the mask, not the mask, the silhouette, sorry. But some of them are on top. And what that means is you're adding to the silhouette with the photos, the ones that are on top. So okay, I found some legs here. I'm just going to drop that in, scale that up, make those legs fit. And I like that sort of plaid, is it plaid? I don't know. Sorry, plaid look to her lower pants area. Yeah. I don't know, I thought it might add a bit of personality to her, but... But yeah, as you can see, it's coming along. Tons of helmets. Oh, excuse me. That's right, okay, so I'm trying to find something to put on her head. And I'm browsing through all these helmets. I don't think I want to go with a helmet. I want her to stay pretty feminine. I really don't remember what I was looking for here. Oh, okay, so we're moving on to a bag. Gonna clip that, and then I realized, nope, can't clip it, so I gotta move it up on top of the silhouette, and that just becomes its own thing. Use the background eraser tool, just get that background out of there. And it turned a bit transparent there, so I'm just gonna duplicate it a few times and get that opacity back and just merge them all together. Okay, so now I was thinking maybe to put one on her back, but I thought it might be cool if she was just holding a bag instead. Alright, we're in the military folder. Lots of stuff going to come out of here. I think, if I remember correctly. Lots of badass military photos. That's a good one. Just browsing. See, I have a theme in mind when I started the picture, which was... I've forgotten the theme, hold on. Sniper team, there you go. So, obviously I'm going to be looking through all these military folders. looking for guns and camouflage and all those things. But your theme could be something entirely different. Your theme could be, you know, civilian, which would actually be pretty easy because you could make your own silhouette and just bring in a whole bunch of you know, people with suits and stuff, and paint in some grunge on top of them if they've been through stuff. Okay, so I'm liking this mesh texture on these guys' heads, which I believe is when they go underwater or something, but I'm gonna mask that, or clip that back into there. I'm just trying to find a place for it. And the great thing about these textures is you can bring it in like this, and get proper eraser here, and just erase out what you don't like, but you can leave a lot of it in, even if it doesn't make sense. Like you can see his arm is just sticking out through her entire body, but I can paint that in later to make it look like something else. Yeah, there you go. So I like that sort of folded pattern right next to her left arm. Yeah, so I'm going to keep that there. Oh, turns out I did clip that arm in. Okay, here we go. So now I'm just on the silhouette layer, and I'm just expanding the silhouette. So it looks like she's going into more of a cloaked look, as opposed to just her arm sticking out, which makes sense for a sniper. On that side as well, looks like she's got a bit of a poncho on. Oh, and here comes the hood. Now, I love doing hoods. Why? The triangular shape, or it's just easier because I don't have to paint hair? I don't know. I do like them though. Looking through a lot of female reference. Oh yes, sniper. So obviously, if you're a sniper, you need that sniper rifle. There we go. So the masks are all screwed up because I placed it in the wrong place. That's okay. Just reselect all these layers and mask them back on. There you go. Okay, so now we need her weapon, which is going to be this lovely sniper rifle here. It's pretty simple, just doesn't have to be clean. Select all the useful edges. Again, these photo textures are color information, and I mean texture, so there's going to be a lot of painting afterwards. Like when the photo texturing is done, it's not going to look very nice at all. But that's good, so most of it becomes painting and not really just looks like photos, which does work sometimes, but it's not really what I'm going for here. So we got the gun. Now just find out where to put it. I was thinking on her back, but I think holding it is better. You can only really see the stock in the barrel, and I didn't really like that. I wanted the scope in there somewhere. And that makes for a nicer silhouette too, I think, if she's holding it down there. And it is now at this point where you can see all my private information on the computer. No, just kidding. I just need to go to Google and pick up a few things. So, we're looking at hoods. What better place than Google? Bing. Okay, so I'm just browsing through. I need to match the perspective, which is kind of a disadvantage, but there are so many images. You can make a lot of them work. Okay, yes. So I see this one here on the right. Perfect. The perspective is just about right. It's looking just about the right direction. So I'm just going to drag that straight into Photoshop. Drag it around. And transform. Now again here, layer placement is important. So I was trying to debate whether to put it behind her or on top of her and just erase parts of the hood where her face would be showing. So as you can see, behind didn't really work here. So I'm just going to drag it on top, in front, and just erase away the inside where her face would be. Just need to scale it down. Enter. And drag it out a bit. There we go. Get rid of these yucky white edges too. It's not very nice. Okay, say hello. Her face is finally peeking through. It's pretty destructive, this, because I didn't use a mask, but it worked out alright in the end. I mean, if I needed it again, I could just drag it off of the internet, so that's okay. Just trying to decide what I need and what I don't need here. Which a lot of it I don't. But yeah, she's coming along nicely. I like that orange scarf. It's kind of like an accent color to all the boring blues and greens going around. Accent color. I'm trying to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. Okay, hoods are fun because you can do that. Really just cut off the lighting and only half her face. It's like it's a little dramatic, but at the same time it just shows exactly where the light is coming from, which is nice. Alright, and into shoe shopping. These are nice shoes. Again, looking for the perspective and the detail, I guess. So this is really simple. Just drag it in the proper place, mask it, or clip it to the silhouette, flip horizontal, and I got some nice pants textures in there too now. So I'm just going to erase a lot of what's going on up there, although it is kind of cool. Yeah, see that texture at the knee there, I can use that as a knee pad later on. Alright, so just a quick warp. Get that into the proper shape and perspective. It looks a little flat and big now, but again, you're just in it for the color information. It just needs to be there so you can sample it with the eyedropper and change the details and colors in afterwards. No big deal. And there we go. That pretty much does it. Nope. Oh. Okay, there we go. Alright, I think that just about concludes it for the female sniper of this team. Or not. Oh yeah, okay, so we are done with the girl. That's the finished stage of the texturing. So we still got a lot of work to do, but I'm looking for a male face now. Thought I could use him. He looked kind of cheeky. With him staring into the camera and whatnot. And I can't for the life of me find where these photos are. Where are you? No? Oh, okay, there you are. And then I shrunk the screen, and then I couldn't find it again. Oh my god. Talk about inefficiency. Okay, there we go. So we got his face. We're going to shrink it down, and exactly the same process as the girl. Girl, woman, whatever. Don't know what her age is. She could be 16, 17. Or 30. Who knows? Who cares? I don't. Anyways, I'm just going to group that girl's layers. Don't need her. I don't know why she's here. Just get rid of that. And, yeah, here we go onto the guy. So again, exactly the same, just masking onto the, or clip masking onto the silhouette. And, again, Alt-click on that mask, and then use a white brush to bring in what you want. Excuse me. And here I tried to expand the silhouette a little bit more so I could make his head work, but the perspective just really didn't work out. So I went looking for another one. Just browsing any of these images for a face. The important thing here is when you're looking for a face, it just needs to have the basic facial structure. And I just searched for, you know, black man. Lots of good looking black men here. Perfect. Okay, I love this angle here. That's exactly what I was looking for. Anyways, what I was saying about the faces was, you just need the facial structure to be there. Because it's all about streamlining your process. If you can just drop that in here and erase away most of it, but then leave like, you know, 10% opacity, so you can still see where the eyes, the nose, and mouth is. You can paint in later exactly what you want him to look like, but just use his face as a base. For instance, if I wanted to shrink his nose or make it thinner, I would just go in with a brush, select the brown color of his skin. That's not racist, is it? And just paint his nose thinner. It's really that simple. And of course, since you are using photos, copyright issues, and I'm not too well versed in all that, but you don't really want them to be recognizable. I would assume you get into some kind of trouble or something. I probably should look into that. But for the moment, whenever I use these pictures, I paint it in thoroughly enough so you can't recognize where they're coming from. Especially when it comes to faces. That's pretty important. I don't know how much I'll commentate over this, seeing as it's exactly the same process as the girl, where I'm just going through every picture, looking for inspiration or something that's perspectively accurate. So I'm just going in, clipping mask, warp. Just try to get that chest in there properly. I remember having a lot of trouble with this one. But again, it all worked out in the end. And one very important thing to remember is when you're bringing in the textures, just turn down the brightness. You don't want any outstanding textures like those, especially with so much detail. Because what you want is that really painted look with the directional light afterwards. If you use different photos that have different light sources, it doesn't look good to begin with, or anyways. So what you want to do is equalize all the light sources and then paint in your own afterwards. Damn, that was like a pro tip. But yeah, still struggling with this. Now it looks like he's kind of slouched over, and I didn't really like that very much. I'm now looking for a sleeve. Yeah, you know what? I've tortured you with my voice long enough. You can just enjoy this all the way through, and I'll get back to commentating after this guy's done. Or unless I see something that I should probably talk about. Alright, bye. Alright, I know I said I'd be back at the end, but this is kind of important. When you're bringing in these pictures, don't be afraid to just can what doesn't look good. Because I tried to make this work for a little while, but it was just kind of a waste of time. Let's see, I'm still going into this design aspect or detailing, and I need to see what works and what doesn't. So the idea of the team, or them being a team, came up a bit later, so I was kind of going two different directions with these guys, but in the end I went in the same direction. So yeah, if it doesn't work, just can it. Alright, so it was at this point where I decided that they should be a team. And being a team, they should probably have the same look, I suppose, apparel-wise. So I just duplicated that hood right off of the girl and just stuck it right on there. And doing that, I can also do the hood lighting thing, which is really cool. I might overuse it too much, but for now it's fine. Just trying to get that shadow right. And origin. I don't know how many people will actually view this, but if you do, I apologize for the unprofessionalism of it. You'll see plenty of windows randomly just popping in and out of the entire thing. But it's my first one, so hopefully I can learn from these mistakes and do better next time. Or some people might like how casual it is, I don't know. Okay, going into weapons. At this point, I thought they should have different guns because I don't know. I mean, just he should have his gun and she should have hers. But later on, you'll see that I give them both the same rifle. As a sniper team, you know, try to keep the relations going between them. Relations? No. What's the word? You know, design-wise, like they should have similarities to enforce the idea that they're a team. Not that they're each running solo doing their own thing. Come to think of it, I probably should have put binoculars on one of them. Yeah, we'll just say it's in the bag. Or something. They're my characters, I can do what I want. Okay, now here, design-wise, I was thinking of having a bag on the guy, somehow in the front, sort of just slung around his stomach, which a lot of military people do. You know, they have the ammo pouches around their stomachs. But as a sniper, I thought maybe he spends a lot of time on his stomach, so it wouldn't be convenient or make much sense to have it there. So I think I just got rid of it here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, it's gone. And this is when I started having trouble of the folder coming in front of Photoshop and instead of behind. Yeah, that was a real pain in the ass. Yeah, so I had to like manually drag Photoshop down, and you can see all my embarrassing pictures. Okay, and then back up. There we go. So now you can't see, but it's on another monitor, and I'm just browsing through, looking for a bag that I can put on his back. I think it was his back. Yeah, it was his back. So I changed the design completely, as opposed to having something on his stomach onto his back. Okay, now here I believe is the part where, I don't know, if you didn't watch this video before and you just saw the image, you might think like, oh, his anatomy is pretty decent, and he knows exactly what he's doing about the forms of the hand and whatnot. And I'm okay at that stuff, but when it comes down to it, it's about the final product, I think. Like, at least that's the way I've been thinking about it for a little while now. As opposed to trying to, find the light and forms of it and painting it by hand. When it comes to efficiency, this is probably the way to go. So like something as simple as just a hand there. I'll go and find a picture for it with a decent hand on it, and yeah, just chop it right off and put it right on there. Yeah, some people might call it cheating. I'm sure they do. A lot of photo bashers get that a lot, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I remember watching, I purchased a Gumroad tutorial by John Sweeney. There's this one where he's like, there's a dude crouching in a doorway, and there's a guy outside, and I just thought, oh my god, this guy knows his anatomy like the back of his hand. The perspective is perfect, the lighting is perfect, and I'm not saying, he doesn't. Of course he does. Not that I know him or anything. I would like to, that'd be pretty cool. But anyways. Okay, so I don't think I'll put this as, like, I felt not cheated, but when I saw the Gumroad tutorial image, I was like, oh my god, I gotta learn how to do that. Because I thought, he painted everything. Yeah, I'm probably just digging my own grave here with this, but I felt like kind of, what's the word, like cheated afterwards? When I knew that he hadn't, and he used so much photos, just like even the guy crouching, that's the first thing I noticed when I watched it, and I was just blown away by how cool it looked. But then I saw that he used just a photo of himself, I think, with a cap and everything, holding a gun. And, I mean, it works perfectly, but I think what I'm slowly learning is, especially in that industry, I think it's all about the final product. And when you're going into full-blown illustration, of course, you need to know how to draw those things, but even in illustration, people use these photo references, and not just like looking at the photo, like drag and drop, and then use that in the image. Of course, it's painted over, so you can't really tell that it's in the image, but it's there. I mean, some might call it cheating, I don't know. I'm not a professional. Okay, now this is pretty interesting. Me going on about how the final product is all important, when you're looking for reference, you can really find it anywhere. Like, it doesn't have to be a picture on Google or anything. Like, you can literally go to YouTube and watch a video, and if you think the pose works there, just screenshot and then use that in the image, like I'm using for here. If you recognize the movie, that's 21 Jump Street, when, I forget their names, Channing Tatum is talking to, what's that, Dave Franco, about school and whatnot, and they're in the parking lot, and he goes out and punches him. And before that, he's talking about one-strapping his backpack. So I thought that'd be a cool idea for him, and I remembered that scene in the movie, and I thought I might be able to find some kind of reference there. And so I searched Google for one-strapping backpack, and sure enough, that exact scene showed up. So I just dragged that in, and then I used his hand. So that's Channing Tatum's hand right there, in case you're wondering. Not that that matters at all. But it worked, so yeah. Thanks, Channing Tatum. Your hand is well used. That sounded wrong. I'll probably cut that. No, I won't. Maybe I should. That's alright. Alright, so I think this part is coming to a close. Just throwing in some random textures here and there. You can see the backpack is in now. And again, the brightness has been turned down because I want to paint in the light afterwards. And I believe sometime here I bring back in, yes. So this is the backpack or pouch thing that I had on his stomach near the beginning. So I just brought that back. And I need a strap for his backpack, which he's one strapping. Excuse me. And I just need that strap there to line up with his hand, and then we're golden. So I'm just going to adjust it there a bit. Erase what I don't need. Just get that nice edge going. Keep that buckle as best as possible. Alright. Make way for his hand. And just get rid of the rest, really. Yeah. And so that's about it. I think texture-wise, obviously turn down the brightness. There we go. Actually, sometimes lightness actually works better in the hue and saturation down there. The brightness tends to... not really sure what it does, but like it turns everything down. So if you had a color, it would like saturate it and go down, or something like that. Something complicated that I don't understand. But in this hue and saturation slider of lightness, it just like adds black on top of everything, and just really tones it down, kills all the lightness. So yeah, I use that a lot. Okay, at this point, I'm just being, lazy. Not really lazy, just, let's call it streamlined. Yeah, that sounds much better. About the shoes, and now the gun, I'm thinking, I already did the same hood, so I'm just gonna bring in the same gun. For teamwork's sake, or something. Where do I put it? There. Yeah, that works. Okay. So layer placement is kind of important too, and you don't want to go merging everything really quickly, especially things that are on top. So just say the gun and the hand I don't want to merge with the rest of the silhouette, because I want to paint the pants and the sleeves and whatnot underneath the gun, and that's just a pain in the ass if you have to do that afterwards. Mask it out and then paint it, yeah, that doesn't really work. So, pretty simple stuff. Just painting out the fingers. And killing some of the lightness again. There we go. And the gun looks far too small right now, so I'm just going to bump it up a bit. Maybe a bit more. That's about good. Nope, going bigger. I may or may not have overkilled this a bit, but I don't know, maybe it makes it look more masculine if it's got a bigger gun. Compensating for something. Okay. And now I just grouped everything, and I believe that is it for now. This has been part 1, and thank you for watching.